Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about what is the hot gossips on you? What's the tea on you? This could be from wherever it's coming from, whoever's yapping away. That could be romantic, platonic, familial, professional, personal, whatever. Right? You know the score. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or just simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. So no matter how you look at that, it's healthy and you're in the right place. I almost coughed. Sorry. Cards we shall be using today are these oracle cards. That's what you're looking at now. I will make sure to shuffle some more for each of your readings as we go forward. And then we will use this tarot deck. As you can see by the shape it's in, I've used it quite a bit. It's one of my faves. Okay. For each individual group, group 1, you are mustard heart. Group 2, you are yellow jade. Group 3 is the bee. Bzz. That's citrine, I believe. A little water eroded from being in a plant bowl for a while. And yellow rock for group 4. Been a while since we've used yellow rock. Whose name is yellow rock? All right. Go ahead and pause if you need. We shall see you in your individual readings. Bye 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 bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked mustard heart, you want to know what the gossip is on you and who is saying it. Let's check into who is saying it first of all. And then we'll see what they're saying. That's kind of what I'm hoping to find. This is going to be the overall energy, however, and then we'll get more of these to see if we can narrow down who. We have Peacock. Raise your standards. Oof. Friend group is sticking out to me a little bit with this card. There might be others, but that's what's first coming through. I'm feeling that being the special little colorful birdie in your crew, and B-words get jelly, you know what I'm saying? And this could go for, males as well. Yeah, it's feeling a little bit like a friend crew that your guides are being very blunt. They're like, you're like a peacock, trooping around a bunch of ugly old gross pigeons. I don't know. It's some kind of bird that's not as cool and gross, I guess. And like the whole symbolism with peacocks is to show your brilliance, to really just flaunt what you've got in your physical appearance as well as your inside appearance. Wow, yeah, make the best choices. Your guys are really hammering it home that whoever's gossiping about you, it feels like a friend group of some kind or people who you're around all the time. So it could be like coworkers that you're friends with. Like you're like not just coworkers, you're also friends with them. I've been in those types of situations. Most people have. Your guys are really saying, yeah, to like raise your standards and make better choices on who your friends are. I don't know if these faces are feeling familiar to you. This woman is with a child here. But, yeah, I mean, this woman has like a crown of like a whole castle on her head. Your guides are really saying that, you deserve the best in this energy. And wow, it just doesn't get any clearer than this. Like potential, think big for your future. Like who do you want to walk forward with you into your future? For some of you, I feel like you're kind of also thinking along the lines of like, not only how does this make me feel when like my, friends are acting this way, like what is the message I'm sending to my child or people who look up to me in some way by allowing it to happen? Interesting. I'm trying to decide if I want more Oracle or if I'm just going to hop straight into Tarot. Big for your future. This card's popping out a bit. Yeah, go with the flow, let things happen. You haven't done anything wrong to have this gossip being said about you. And that's kind of what I want to know is like, what is the gossip about? Because that's not coming through yet. I see who. I don't see what. I'm trying to decide if I want the cards in this one to hint at it first, or if I want to go straight into tarot. I cannot decide. Yeah, let's go with the flow. Live in the moment. Cheer up. Okay. Well, with that being said, I want one more. Can we maybe see? Ooh, I just got goosebumps so hard up my right leg. Just my right leg, but it was, ooh, it's still there. Let me know if you got goosebumps while you were listening just now. Yikes. Wee. Okay. Oh, still there. Okay. Live in the moment. Cheer up. Live up to your potential. Think big for your future. Let things happen. Anything about, we know who, we're seeing friend group or somebody that they're around every day, that is somebody that they care about. Oh, she has little fairies around her. Interesting. So you have some fairy energy as well as that peacock energy with some water energy, I'll be with these. Water. Yep. The moon. Their little wings look like peacock feathers in this card, I swear. Okay, so anyway, upping your standards. So we know who they are and why they're supposed to be kind of moving on, but what's the gossip about them? That's what I want to know. And I'm sure they would like to know if we can get that in an oracle card, and then we'll move on to tarot. We see something about what the gossip is. Vacation. Take time for relaxation and adventure. Okay, I don't feel like this is for everybody. For some of you, I feel like even if you've had a well-deserved vacation, like there's certain people around you at work in that work group that kind of, there's a little bit of toxicity there. I feel the closeness of the friend group, and that's why you care about what they think in the first place. But it's this energy of kind of, I don't know, have you ever seen those families that are kind of, they love each other, obvi, but like they kind of run each other down instead of build each other up? And in a way that sort of motivates them sometimes, but at the same time, it can like really hurt their feelings. And they've kind of all, at this point in their lives, taken their turn of being the brunt of that, abuse, right? I am feeling that a little bit. Like, you can't take time for yourself or celebrate anything without getting criticism, I'm hearing for some. And so for some of you, that gossip is like kind of that talking behind your back, where they might even say, oh, congratulations to your face. And then you leave and they go, oh my gosh, what does she think she's going to do? Like, that kind of thing. Or I hope this doesn't blow up in their face, blah, blah, blah. Or I wish I could take a vacation. That kind of stuff is coming into my mind. So that's the kind of gossip that I'm hearing. It feels very petty. It's just instilling that very strong feeling that I had from the beginning that I want you to know that you're not doing anything wrong, that you don't deserve to have the gossip being spread about you. I feel like it's tight-knit. I feel like they're not saying this to outsiders, whatever that means to you. Outsiders of whatever this group is. But they say it to each other. And they also do it to each other as well. Like they'll talk smack about one of the other ones to you. Right? And that's kind of maybe how you got the impression that this was happening in the first place. Lots of rainbow energy as well. That might be significant to you in some way personally. Let's get some tarot and find out more about what's going on with this. What's the T on group 1? Sometimes they talk about you being when you choose to be standoffish, or you choose to not be involved. They kind of act like you're being aloof. And that's sort of like not nose in the air, I'm not going to be around you, but very purposefully not being involved, right? And the Hermit would very much embody that energy. It's actually a positive card to have, but what the gossip is it's like, oh, you're not there on the times that you've actually, removed yourself from situations which you probably felt like you needed to because it was that toxic or that uncomfortable in some way. There's kind of that little bit of bickering of you not being there. There's very similar colors in these cards. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to keep going. Ace of Cups. Your guys want you to know that you're not doing anything wrong. You have a heart of gold. I feel some of you may be tightening up, like you're like, why does everyone think I'm a bad person? They don't either. They're just being petty. Yeah, I've got a lot of strong work vibes. And maybe some of you work with family. Or work with people who feel like family emotionally. Really close. You don't just like work together, you play together, you do Christmas together in some cases. Like very, very around each other all the time. This could be like extended family, etc. If I don't hit what niche you're in, just take it as a confirmation if that's what it feels like your group feels like, that you're very ingrained with each other, so that I don't ramble on and on about all the different kinds of those there could be. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, a lot of double speak. A lot of duplicitous behavior of being supportive to someone over here, talking smack about that person over there, also doing the same to this person over here, depending on what the combos are, and what everybody's projecting on each other that week. It's not the healthiest vibe. I do see the closeness. I think it started as a healthy vibe in some way. I think that when things get dark, that's when you really pull together and you're glad to have them. But when you're just having regular times, you kind of have this tendency to get mired down by them kind of nitpicking things into fights that you don't feel really are necessary. And that's why you choose to kind of back out when they get like that. I feel like that's not something that might be able to be changed with them all the way. I think maybe you might have to take them with which ones are not being crazy that day. You know what I'm saying? For some of you, these are just all the messages that are coming through. There's a lot of different scenarios. I don't want to keep you. And despite them saying that you pull away, I feel like you actually would feel very lost without them. At least some people in this group would. Even though you know about the dysfunctional behavior and it gets frustrating, you very much love these people. And they love you. It's just kind of like ugly behavior, kind of immature, kind of dysfunctional. I feel like maybe a lot of you came from like troubled backgrounds. There might be some people with some past substance abuse or current substance or some type of addiction. It could be the addiction to just something being wrong, having something to be upset about, being in a fight with somebody. Some people really feel like they have to be in that mode all the time. And it's not like they want that mode. It's just they find themselves in it over and over again and don't realize that they themselves cause it at times. Yeah, and I feel like you have more stable emotions than the people in this group for the most part. Is what I'm getting. I'm not trying to butter you up. That can be very isolating with a group that you're so close with, very isolating, yeah, at times. Even if you're with them, I think sometimes you might feel a little bit separate because you just are choosing not to do the same types of behaviors that they do. They look for fights when they don't need to, is really what I'm seeing here. What else? They're saying, "Live with the flow, let things happen." Yeah, they are honestly saying you deserve to do better. I feel like, some of you that aren't, everybody's got a different situation. But at the same time, it's really important to recognize the message that's here for those who this message is for, okay? And that is that eventually you have got to let go of things that aren't working for you, even if it's the type of stuff that you can't really totally sever yourself from entirely, like family, like, a workplace where it's like always going to be like that and you don't really have any option but to work there. I did that for many years, right? So I get it. Like, I would never fault somebody for staying in that mode until they're, retirement aged, if that's what needs to be done, right? But your guides are saying you do deserve better. So if you are stuck with these people in general and you cannot just like break up with them and get away, your guides are suggesting that you find something for yourself, something else to do that takes you out of that kind of environment. Yeah. Something that's just for you. Even if it's just like a weekly walk you take by yourself with you and your pet, or you take a yoga class all by yourself, or you learn how to fix up a camper and go camping all by yourself. These are very independent, strong cards. And I love how the pets are there. We have both the lion and the tiger. Yeah, something that's just for you. Something that would still exist even if these people were not even in existence. Okay? I'm not saying wish them out of existence. I'm just saying that you need to have your own thing to help you get through. So that you're not mired down in their, shinaki all the time. Yeah, walking away from, a lot of those aspects. It doesn't mean that you have to snub them all forever. In some cases, if that's what needs to be done, your guides are fully in support of that for those of you where that's even possible, right? And it's up to you guys to decide of what bracket you're in. If this reading came to you, are you the person that's going to stick around and find something for yourself amidst these people? Or are you going to actually walk away from these people in some way? That's going to be up to you how you decide to navigate that. I also just glanced down and saw the Six of Swords. That can be really hard for some of you to walk away. And like I said, it's up to you to decide if you want to walk away. You can always walk away later. Ooh, I just got such a ringing in my right ear. If you got that too just now, that was something specific for you. Six of Swords is about moving forward from a messy past. In some way, right? I keep saying that. Yeah, 10 of Wands. This burden for some of you is nearly over. Notice how he's not, they look tired, like they've been through a lot. But this is the least like mired down, 10 of Wands I've seen in a long time as far as they are still moving forward, right? There's also that pet element. Some of you are really close with your pet. Or pets. I can relate. What else do we want to say for group 1? Yeah, it's really just going to be the same story over and over again. Avoid that conflict. Yeah. Or change away from it entirely if that's what you want to do and are able to do. And that's what feels right to do. Your guides are saying that's okay. It's time to do that. If you're stuck with them forever in some way, find a way to have your time for you. And speak up. Yeah, talk with people who maybe are objective to this situation. They don't know them, or, they're objective to them. They don't really know about them. Maybe not somebody that hates them already, because I feel like there might be people in your life that are like, I hate your friends or I hate your family because of experiences they had with them. Taking it slow. Yeah, please take it at your pace. If this ends up being like you walking away, take it at your pace. You don't have to do it all tomorrow just because this reading says that you need to, work slowly and just kind of put your pieces together for yourself. Don't get mired down with their, yeah, you're doing the right thing by, regardless of them saying those things about you when you pull yourself back, they're really just projecting onto you their own self behavior of, I'm not willing to act like an adult and not squabble or whatever. But the main thing is that, yeah, the gossip about you is very, very like minimal, honestly. But it's just, I think because these people mean so much to you that are watching this, that's the part that's hard. And so it's okay to speak up to them too. And like, you can come at people with love and say, hey, I love you, but you will not speak to me this way. I've done that before. It was really hard. It was really hard because I was just a kid when I had to learn how to do it. But it helped me, and I ended up actually keeping the relationship with that person that I had to practice that on. So if that gives you some hope, I don't know. I know it's such a rough situation, but I feel like with these cards that your guides are really showing that you don't have to put up with as much as you've been putting up with. In some way, you can let go of that and let them be how they're going to be, because I'm not seeing them changing a whole lot. I'm seeing you changing how you deal with them, whether that's Xing them out of your life completely or finding some way to coexist with them and still keep the essence of your own spirit from getting drained by their yucky stuff. All right. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Yeah, give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box, my friends. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, group 2. So if you picked the yellow jade, let's go ahead and I don't know much about yellow jade. Or jade stones in general. I have like a few different colors of it, and I don't know much about what their properties are. I should look that up. All right, you have the dragon card, Discover Your Courage. Discover your courage. Okay, so right off the bat, I feel like some of you might be making a speech for like a graduation, perhaps, if you're watching this during the time that I'm filming this. This is graduation season, my friends. I'm not going to be going to that ever again. It's crazy. So anyway, that all being said, I see, and I see like this, the building behind them looks university-ish to me. I've been seeing a lot of graduation announcements on like Facebook profiles and things like that. Like either people are graduating or they know somebody who is, right? And so I feel like for some of you, you are graduating and you have to like face this time with courage. Perhaps you're feeling a little bit unsure, unready. I'm getting a lot of Fool energy with this card, like from the tarot, the Fool, of just embarking into this brave new world, okay? Like bursting forward. And the gossip behind you at this point, it's just feeling like that kind of cautionary gossip that family does for people when they're moving forward. You might be listening to them talk about somebody else and you think, oh, there's no way they're not talking about me then as well, right? That kind of energy is coming through. So some behind the back kind of like family stuff for sure. And then possibly some, it almost feels like maybe there's somebody watching who is like graduating or moving forward in some kind of awards ceremony or something, and your friend group or your partners or somebody around you have been all very critical of each other, all like almost in good fun, but it's also, it stings when they get you when it's your turn kind of feeling. And I feel like there's some lighthearted, competitive kind of like smack talking, if you will. You know, that S word that I don't say on this channel. Yes. It's very hard to do. I need to make a channel where I can cuss as much as I want. Okay. Let's see what else is going on, who these people are, perhaps. Yeah, vacation, take time for relaxation and adventure. The last group got this card too, but yours is giving me a very different vibe. So it's not like one of those situations where they say, so you might like the other group. This is giving me very much a vibe of after this ceremony that you have to get through, this event, there's some kind of big event. Maybe it's like a family reunion, or maybe every time somebody graduates, or every time it's graduation season or wedding season, you get a slam dammy of both. Slam dammy, what is that? That is funny, but I've never said that before in my life. Slam dammy. I'm going to start saying it now, though, so thank you to whoever guide popped that into my brain, because that's brilliant. A slam dammy of, like, yeah, just an overwhelmed sensation. And so I feel like after this event that happens that you're obligated to in some way, that you will have some time for relaxation afterwards, like a break from them, even if you're not going on like a literal vacation. Legends. Learn from those who inspire you. Okay, so a lot of times during graduation time, there's a lot of older people around that aren't as directly connected. I saw a huge flash of light. I don't know if it was lightning outside. It's been pretty stormy today, but the sun's actually shining right now, so that would be wild. I know that can still happen. Or if that was just like a spirit thing. I don't know. I wonder if I'll see it on the film. I'll have to double check and see. I don't know where the timestamp is because they updated everything on my phone. Okay, 520-ish. Okay, so anyway, like a flash of bright light, and we have this little flaming salamander. I've got that Fahrenheit 451 vibe. If you've never read it, some of you might have read that book when you were in school, or maybe you really like that book. Maybe you just have seen the cover or seen the title, just kind of has haunted you your entire life, but you've never read it. Like me in the Scarlet Letter. I'm like, I will not read it. Anyway. Yeah, but the salamander in mythology is supposed to withstand fire. There's also that feeling of like arising anew, transforming into what you're to become, not being harmed by what is in front of you that you can't see through all the way. Those messages are coming through. And also there's like this mermaid, like totally like loving on this salamander. Some of you might be in a relationship with somebody, you know, like you're not doing this for a love reading perhaps, but some of you have a very, very strong love connection with somebody, and people do sort of talk about that. They all have something to say about it. Some people say nice things, and then the people who, you know, have to project ugliness, you know, project the things that people usually say about loving couples, like, oh yeah, wait till they get married, then they're not gonna like each other anymore. You know, that kind of thing is coming through for some of you. But it doesn't feel like anybody that close to you. That feels almost like people who know you both mutually, like at work or at like university classes, communal living of some sort, roommates, floor mates, whatever you want to call it, flatmates. I gotta take a drink of my tea. There's been so many scenarios coming through that I just hope I'm getting all of them, because the central message is so similar, but there's all these little extra pops of things coming in. Like the people that are in that relationship might not necessarily be getting a vacation from these people when they're done. Like there's for instances like that. So just take what resonates with you. I'm sure you know how these work by now. if they do anything for you at this point. You, like most people, have probably either like gotten out or have watching them entirely, or they know what to look for from their guides in these. A lot of air energy as well with the fire and that little bit of water. I feel like the fire energy is coming from the people that this is about, and the water energy is coming from somebody special to you. Like there's a cool, collected person in your life. And that's something else that the Legends card is talking about. Like, learn from those who inspire you. Like, whenever you go to these types of, like, breaking this back down to a more modern perspective of having to deal with, big, large groups that are competitive, that are kind of persnickety, kind of gossipy, right? And you have to be around them, and they're all going to be talking about you. Like, if you have a speech to give at graduation, there's going to be haters out there being like, look how dumb her face is. Like, look how dumb her dumb mouth works. That's dumb. There's always going to be that, and this. And I think you handle it well, but you still have that, like, I don't want to do it. And I don't blame you. It's disgusting that people have to put you on the microscope like that when you're the one that has to get up there and talk, But then at the same time, we also know that because how many of us haven't said smack about somebody's speech at some point in our lives? We probably all have. Okay, so you know how it goes. Let's look and see what else people might be saying or who they might be. Right now it's just kind of like coworkers, like student camaraderie, partners of some type, like academies. There was that flash again. I wonder what that was. It keeps happening when I'm looking down. Okay, so we have the dove take a leap of faith. Again, we have this air sign with the dove. We also have this courage. I said something about the Fool card before, and the message that comes with the Fool card is literally take a leap of faith. And so it's also about the beginning of something new. Cherish the people around you that aren't going to be around you pretty soon. That's another way to get through the time between now and this event. I'm feeling major graduation vibes, but of all different sorts. Not just like school, like I said, like academies or medical, what do they call those? I don't know what that's called because I don't know. I don't know what they call it when you like move up in your licensure when you're like doing medical stuff. Let me know in the comments so I don't sound like a silly all the time. I'll have to Google it if I can remember. But yeah, you have these like ancient people in your spiritual guides, as well as these like folks around you who are older, who've been around you pretty constantly. And so you kind of take them for granted, and that's good. Because if you don't take things for granted, then you don't really enjoy them for what they are, for what they represent to you. But there's also that knowledge that comes along with when times change in a big way, that relationships with some people are not going to be the same after this event. It could be in little ways or big ways. Like when people graduate, there's always that group of people that you'll never see them again. You never know exactly who it's going to be either. And like sometimes it can surprise you, right? Okay, moving forward. So just cherish the ones that are around you that make you feel good during this event. Believe in your dreams. Yes, focus on the future of what you would like to occur. Archangel Gabriel is coming through for you, messenger of creativity and hope. You might want to jot down that angel name. This deck of cards is not really full of that many angels, so I would take a lot of stock in that. Okay. Any other oracle cards? So, yeah, the gossip about you does not seem that rough, which I like. There's just that little bit of, like, people being too familiar with each other's business, kind of wagging their gums, as they say. not keeping your name out of their mouth, but like also caring deeply for you. I'm not seeing like anything treacherous at this time. Creative wonderment. Follow your passion. See, it's like believe in your dreams. Follow your passion. Some of you might have a piano thing you have to do. You might play a piano. Can I hear it? I miss the sound of piano music in my house. Angel of miracles, open your heart and expect a miracle. Ooh, nice. So yeah, I mean, everything feels very airy and light. I feel like like I said, the gossip does not feel thick, my friends. And dare I say, there's also people that are very much rooting for you. Just embrace what you're becoming. But yes, I know, and I'll say it again, I've had to go up and speak before, and there's always going to be that person out in the crowd that's just always hated your guts. That there's just always those people out there that are going to react to us in an adverse way. It's just balance, I feel like, probably. And so it just sucks when they have to share the room with all the people that you like. I totally get it. Sometimes there's just no escape from that. But the gossip about you, I don't think those people are smearing it around too much. And the loved ones that are doing it are not really doing it out of malicious intent. It's just some of them just kind of operate that way during times of stress, during big events. They sometimes project their own failures on people when they're succeeding, etc. All that stuff is coming through. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like it can kind of take the oomph out of your special day, especially if the day is for you. Like if you're the one graduating. I also know how that feels. Like you finally get your special day and everybody's just conveniently like busy doing something else, or even if you're with you, they're not paying you the right amount of attention that you pay them when they're around, getting their big day. That's coming through pretty hard for somebody at least. Your guys want you to obviously focus more on that. You've achieved something miraculous in some way. You're moving forward in some amazing way. Or doing something beautiful for somebody while they're moving forward, right? And it's okay to just kind of put yourself out there and just get curious about what you are becoming, right? Expecting miracles that are coming in, getting creative and having hope, right? And not letting that slow your roll, as they used to say. Yes. Let's see what else is happening here. I'm feeling a lot of like, why are they like this? 6 of Cups in reverse. Some of you are going to have a hard time walking away from somebody at this time. Like there's that whole message again about having people in your life pretty consistently, and then suddenly, it all changes. I remember we used to have this other couple that was about the same age as us that lived in the apartments, just across the street from us. And it wasn't even across the street. We were like in a different row in the same complex, right? And we would go out to dinner and watch movies all the time, and we just really had fun with them. And then we all like graduated and got jobs and went away. And oh my gosh, like I didn't even see it coming for some stupid reason. I'd gotten so used to it because we did it so much while we were around each other. So it's not like we wasted that time. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I didn't cherish it as much. Now that it's gone, I miss it. So there is a feeling like that coming through for some of you. It's making it just not hard to move forward, but just a little tug in your heart. Big change. Yeah, and with change comes certain things come to an end. But that's what moving forward is all about. There's always going to be things that end with change. And you're at the start of a grand adventure. Some of you are having to choose some hard things. Like making hard decisions about who stays in your life and who's going to be a long distance person now, right? And that can mean all kinds of different things for a lot of different people. Oh, but look. The Sun. All right. You're going to be fine. Anytime the sun comes out, it's like, you know what's for the best is going to happen. Whatever the main lesson that needs to be taught or learned is going to take root in you or whoever you're teaching it to. I love seeing that for you. You're on your way. Even though there's some goodbyes that are hard and some changes that are going to be, they're going to pull on your heartstrings. Your guides are showing that you're on your way to wonderful things coming up. Ooh. Okay, sorry about that. The main thing that I wanted you to also focus in on, and your guides wanted you to focus in on, was open your heart and expect a miracle. You have, I didn't even see that being an angel. Durr. 2 angels you got here looking out for you, and the sun. So that's, almost an assured 100% yes that all is going to be well for you. Do not fear the unknown. Don't let the unknown hold you back from making decisions. Sorry, my voice is getting hoarse again. Oh, it's been like stormy and windy. It's dry where I live, so it's like dusty. Anyway, the Sun card indicates that you will make the right decisions as you move forward, and that the gossip about you is not really that hard, guys. It's not that bad. It's very fleeting. I don't see people really running you into the ground or anything like that. Everybody knows that you are accomplished in some way, even if you're not graduating or moving forward in some way that we've seen with the other people in this group. I'm also seeing that you are just rocking whatever sphere you are in, and that you have a lot of opportunities available to you, that you are kind of above all that gossip anyway. I'm saying all that. It's really not that bad. And that you teach others through your example of how you live. You're a very, very respectable person. Aw, that's so nice. So, some of you might be teachers or becoming teachers. Or you're respected by your teachers. Anything else? Okay. I just want to say congrats if you're moving forward in some fabulous celebratory way. I shall drink a toast to you of tea. And I hope you found this helpful. If you did, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you, my friends. We shall see you next time. Bye. Group 2. You picked the... Wait, no. Group 3. Woof. We're moving right along. Group 3, you picked the B. That's how I remembered. Like I'm a 2-year-old child. Sad, isn't it? Okay, let's look and see what you got. You got confrontation. Pick your battles wisely. Oh, my. So what just flashed into my mind just now, it's going to be hard for me to explain because I understand the energy of it and the emotion it brings, but I'm not sure what the job entails. So your guides might just be showing it to me in the sense of what I've dealt with. If you're watching this during the time of year that I watch this, or that I'm filming this, which is like May, and it's graduation season, it's wedding season, it's like in the throes of spring, stormy season. And I feel like you, in this group, have this... I'm not saying like you have to be confrontational, but like what popped into my head was like at the end of the school year, we've all gone to school, so this should be something that should, sales people during Christmas time, right? During that whole holiday stretch, in fact, people in little tiny tourist towns during the rush of tourist season, when you get flooded with all these people that are strangers to you, and yet they kind of act like, oh, you're all here for us because here we are, right? And those are what's coming into my brain. And it's not saying to be confrontational necessarily. It's saying to pick your battles wisely. especially in times of high stress. So like teachers at the end of the year, it's probably not a good idea to make any final plans. Like I always remember like teachers being like, I'm going to resign. I'm resigning. I'm putting my letter in. And I'd always say, you have until August to decide. I know that they would need you to decide sooner than that in a really tiny town so they can try to hire somebody to replace you, because legally they can't look until you actually have resigned. But, not doing it and making a big decision right at the end of a stressful. Don't quit your sales job right after Christmas time. Wait until it's over and then see, right? That kind of feeling is coming through. So picking your battles. I feel like there's a lot of being stuck around people for a long period of time, maybe like even like a basic training or, some kind of communal living where you're all together and now you're going to move forward. It's a lot of similar energy to that of group 2, but this one just feels a little bit more on edge, a little more hostile. I don't see anybody literally stabbing anyone in the back, but I see a lot of people out for themselves. So you might be like in a competitive field and you're, all vying for the same like promotion, and then whoever gets the promotion, there's going to be a big party for them, and you'd be like, yay, I'm glad you got it instead of me. That kind of feeling. And the person not only, got what you wanted, maybe you didn't like them on top, so you got to listen to the victory speech or whatever, and it makes you want to like just crawl into a hole, or be anywhere but there. I don't know. That's what's coming through with this pile, is this kind of, whatever your situation is, the people that you're, watching this for feel very coworker-y or communal living, close-knit neighborhood, whatever, what have you. Very similar to group 2. And I'm not going to lie, you might have some little messages in group 1 as well. There is some very, very similar wedding, graduation, people that have been tight-knit quarters for way too long, kind of having to move forward without one another. And in some cases that's hard. And in your case, you're like, that's great, I never want to see you again. Not all of them, but the ones that you don't want to ever see again, you really, really don't want to see them again. I totally get it. Even if you only are not going to see them for like a summer, it's still like this nice little break, right? Like maybe somebody's transferring out to a different department of some sort, and you're like, bye. Like, you're in pediatric and they moved to oncology, something along those lines. I'm just coming up with examples. I'm not really trying to mire you down with too many of those. If it fits, then sits. Children. Know that your children are protected. Some of you might have kids that, if you're in a really tight-knit community, anything that happens to you affects them on a personal level and vice versa, because everybody's so tight-knit. So whether it's small town or just a small community where, for some reason you're going to be around people like this with your kids, right? So like if you taught at a school and there's a kid of yours that goes to school with you and they're graduating this year, but so is every other, B word in the place that you work, and they're all vying for them to get to be best, number one student, and all this other like petty-ishness is kind of coming through. So the gossipy stuff that's happening, of course, I'm feeling is a lot more, not damaging in any more sense than it's just being said. And why the F would you say that about another human being, Charlotte? Like that's what's coming through. So it's like, it's not, end of the world, but it's just that kind of petty, close quarters, like you wish, makes you like sad about like the fact that there's probably like people out there that work together in harmony and live together in harmony, and it's not that bad, right? Yeah, everyone has their little 7 deadly sins, right? They all have their little special one that it's their little Achilles heel, right? Like it might be envy, it might be wrath, that kind of thing. Everybody, the situation that you're in with this close-knit group of people, is very seen. That's why I'm saying, oh, it gives me small town vibes. Or maybe you're just a very prominent person in your community. Like maybe you live in one of those big communities, but you're like in one of the families that has a lot of means. And so, you know, you have to go to these fundraisers and there's all these vultures around. It's very varied, all the energy that's coming through. I'd love to know what everybody's little situation is in the comments if you're comfortable sharing. Humanity's destructive traits. Notice how this like rainbow woman has all these little animals hiding behind. And when I was doing the shuffling earlier, a card caught my eye, but I wasn't able to grab it in time. And I had already picked the card for you, you know, for your reading. And that would have been the one that you were drawn to, that you needed the message from. So obviously I didn't fish it out. But it said something about fighting next to animals. She's with this tiger. All these animals are crouched behind this other person. They've got their little bobcat. I'm just saying, like, there's also this kindred spirit. Maybe you have a pet you're very close with, was one of the messages in pile 2. But I feel like with you, you have like a knack for all animals. It might not even be something that people know that much about or have seen in action. Your guides are just telling you that that's how it is. And you may have noticed them reacting to you in similar ways, even if you like don't have the ability to really be around them very much. Like if you're very allergic to them or something like that, you know. There's some people that are like allergic to all the animals. Okay. Live life to the fullest. Yeah, your guides are basically saying with the gossip that's being said. And one of the things that's coming through also is you look like you're living life to the fullest. Even when you struggle, they don't get to, these people, they don't get to see your struggle. I feel like you're very private. And so that kind of actually makes them be like, who do you think you are? You're not going to tell us what's going on with you, kind of situation. And you're just not having it. And your guys are saying that's the better way to be. Keep living your life to the fullest, because there's always going to be those haters that hate. Haters going to hate. Intuition. Trust your intuition. You're doing nothing wrong. See, she has this unicorn horn. You're a unicorn person. These people aren't fit to lick the dust off your shoes, my darling. How's that for a nice message from your guides? Because I also wouldn't say that. It's not a saying that's ever been spoken by me before. Interesting. Let me know who that was in the comments. That was definitely not something that I was saying. But yeah, I agree. Like there's something special about you. And when you're special, there's always going to be that group of people that project their own insecurities onto you because you don't do that to anybody else. And that shows that you don't have a reason to, so you're not as afraid as they are in some respect. And so they want to drag you down in some respect. It's very herd mentality, petty, humans at their lowest form. Not to run them into the ground, but, F them, whoever they are. I'm backing you up, group 3. These people are out of line. These gossiping mongers. But I see, you don't just shield yourself from their ickiness. You shield other people around you. So like if you're a school teacher and you have a very toxic staff of teachers and administrators or adult, energy, bad parents, what have you. The people that you oversee, your kids, right, or whatever, they hide behind you because of that ability you have to block them from it. So the people around you that matter, they know how special you are. They know that you're above those chatty Cathys, as they're called. Yikes. I'm really curious what your different individual situations are and how you shine in your element, group 3. Yeah, go with the flow. Just let things happen. I've seen that little keychain around recently, and it didn't feel like a message for me. I feel like it might be a message for some of you that has, it was like a ring that said, let them. And then I always saw those little videos that were like, let them mentality. Just let them be how they are. Let them go suck. Right? Knowing what you can and can't change, right? Yeah, potential. You just have a better potential than they do anyway. And what else? Open your heart, expect miracles. Yeah, they're not going to slow your roll. So let's get you some tarot cards, my friends. Ooh, I like group 3. You guys are mellow. I need a good vibe from you. I wish that if I was in a toxic work environment anymore, I would like you to be in my corner somewhere. I feel like you would be a bright spot in my day. Yeah, two-faced people. So you guys are, and you're probably saying this as well, because I was like, oh, there's some people that really know how special you are. This is true. But I think I needed to be reminded, and some of you were needing to address, that some of the people that you've realized are those chatty Cathys were people that you actually might have more recently thought were on your side or in your corner, respected you, and maybe they've proven the exact opposite lately. And so you're kind of watching this video and videos like this to ascertain what are they saying about you behind your back, because you thought, you know, to your face, they were being a mother effing friend, dude. Oof, my chest just got so tight, and I felt that anger for whoever's watching that went through that. Sorry. Oh, don't give me a heart attack, y'all. 2 of Wands. You are... See the contrast here? They're like double timing shifty tins, right? That smile in your face and then go talk smack behind your back are the ones that, they're the ones that are sticking in somebody's craw right now. Or the ones that you thought were cool. Even if they weren't a friend, you just thought that they wouldn't go around talking petty smack about people like that. Like that being that unprofessional is coming through. Okay. So this is definitely feeling like work. Doesn't it? I know I said close, tight community, but yeah, I'm really feeling the work vibe here. They're doing their little shifty dance, but you, on the other hand, are focused, steady, holding your options, the truth and what's being said to you and what's really being said behind you are being held steadily at either side of you. So like, I see you handling this well emotionally and outwardly. Like if you felt hurt or rattled by somebody and it bothers you that they've noticed, they haven't noticed that they've rattled you in any way. If you're worried about that, that's coming through for somebody specific. Your guides very much have your back. You're onto good things. The people who matter and the souls who are evolving along with yours during this journey of life respect you. They see through these things. If people are talking about you, they see through those people as it just being petty jealousies. And honestly, I'm not trying to butter you up. I said that to one of the other groups today as well. The unknown card. The unknown is bugging y'all hard. There are some things we never get to see. That message is coming through. Okay, hang on. Oh, the energy just shifted so like, oof. Yep. Yeah, some of you got really hurt recently by something that people are saying towards the end. For some of you, it's the hardest thing about your time right now, because I'm getting that shifting vibes for every one of those graduation vibes, those changing times. Even if you're not graduating, somebody around you surely is, if you're watching during the time that I'm filming this. Or if you're not, something big is happening, something big is shifting. Some of you have the birthstone of amethyst, so February babies, Aquarius peoples. whatever's on either end of that. I don't know my astrology very well. What does it move into after that? Pisces? I don't know. You can tell me in the comment section. I'm sorry. Anywho. I know. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it. Some people watching this group got done dirty when it came to... It wasn't so much that what they said can actually affect you in any monetary or realistic way. It was just the fact that they said it. And they just thought you were never going to know, and you know. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize how bad you actually suck. You're a snake. I get it. I get it. It's a rough thing to feel. Especially when you come to the end of something, or like at the end of a chapter, at the beginning of a new and fruitful experience, right? Because they're talking about this, expect miracles in your future. But they're also saying to trust your intuition too. Some of you might not have even caught this person red-handed. You might just have seen it intuitively and you're like, like it just came to you of like, oh, this person's a piece of garbage, you know? And then you saw some like, sorry, I know this is getting so pinpoint specific on like who this person is, the shifty shiftertons, the chatty Cathys, the ones you're really worried about talking about you. Some of you really got hurt by somebody in that exchange. So moving on. Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're just rising above and taking your knowledge with you forward in stride. I'm feeling a very familiar feeling of when you realize somebody is not in alignment with you. There's no sense of even over analyzing them, or were they cruddy before, or did they change, or what was that all about? Did they always just suck and I just didn't see it? You know, it's just this moving forward with the knowledge that you have now that they're not in alignment with you, leaving them in your past. And you can always give second chances if you choose. You don't have to decide right away what to do. Because I feel like some of you are like really bummed out. I think like some people wagged their tongues in a really disrespectful manner for some of you. In an unprofessional setting. Like in an unprofessional way, in a professional setting, I mean. But it didn't just hurt you professionally. In fact, it hurt more emotionally that they were just that they said it. Sorry, I feel like a broken record. That just was all stuff I had already said before, but that's the message that keeps coming through over and over again. Yeah, you guys are saying to hold close the people that you hold dear. If it's people outside of work, like that might be your family. Like your pets, you know, and your kids. You're always going to be number one in their hearts generally, right? Eight of Pentacles, keep your head down, just move forward with whatever your responsibilities are. That's all you are expected to do. Don't worry about what you can't see or hear. Your intuition can be trusted as you move forward among these snakes. You poor thing. I'm going to give you a hug, group 3, because you seem like such a, special people who's kind of been putting up with some really, like, disrespectful and, like, shiznitty behavior, man. That sucks. Like, I don't even know what to say other than I'm sorry. But yeah, pull in those who you know, focus on the things around you that are good. The people, the stars in your life who are people who would help you get through anything, right? Pull them close and just be glad that you know who is who, and the stuff they're saying is very petty. Projections of themselves. So like if there's an award at work, they'll say that those persons that won didn't deserve them, or they'll roll their eyes or whatever. I just, instead of pulling together as a staff, they all kind of undermine each other. That kind of energy is coming through, and you're just this special person trooping amongst all these nasty nastertons. And if there's not a lot of them, the ones that are just extra nasty. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Hang in there. You're doing the right things. You are doing the right things. The stuff that they're saying, it's like they, whatever you hear them saying about other people, you know intuitively basically what they would probably say about you. You know, I'm hearing all that. None of it is factual, you know. Maybe you cried once at work and they're like, oh, she just cry like a little baby. You know, guys, even though they've probably cried at work more than you, that's just the one thing that you did where you showed vulnerability. And so when they need to talk smack about somebody and project on them, that's what they do, right? So I don't know. I don't want to like drown you in situations, but it's just those petty little deals like that. That's one example. So hang in there because you're doing the right things. You're moving forward. You're action oriented. You know who's who now. Clutch the ones who matter and move forward and leave those other nasty Nastertons as far behind you as you can and keep their voices as silent around you in your times of peace as you can. With that, let me know if this is helpful in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Hang in there, my friends. It's wonderful to see you. And just know that I got your back, group 3s. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Group 4. If you picked a yellow rock, I have no idea what this rock is. It's very light and obviously very yellow. It's stripy. Or banded, if you will. And I just love it. And so we named it Yellow Rock. And if you pick Yellow Rock, it means just something kind of special is happening to you at the moment or has the potential to happen to you. Like you might be embarking on something that that you're only going to get a chance to do once. Or you're getting to do something that you only get to do once. Interesting. For some reason, baptism popped into my head, but that could be a metaphorical type of baptism. Whatever baptism means to you. Interesting. Interesting. New beginnings. Begin your new life. The Phoenix. Oh my, my, my. Well, no wonder I'm seeing baptism. Like, a lot of people, you know, in a lot of cultures might get baptized when they're just babies, right? But there's this like age of accountability that comes along where older people have some type of form of baptism, whether it's an actual baptism or another form of, you know, spiritual accountability, rising towards your higher self, becoming what you were meant to become. Yes, it's very serious. Big life stuff. The Phoenix is also about rising from ashes. And so a lot of times you could be coming out of a very serious breakdown of sorts, perhaps a breakup. Some of you went through something, and this is very specific for some of you. Some of you have gone through something that feels like very, very like life or death. Maybe you almost died in some way through like violence or through accident, whatever happened. And whatever it was, like the people around you, it was very publicized for some of you. That's coming through. And I don't feel any of you owning the gossip that's around you. I feel like you're mainly just curious as to maybe who's saying what. If you want to confirm, you know, I suspected these people were saying this about me. Or you just want to know who's in your corner for the right reasons, all that fun stuff. But I don't see you being mired down by anything anyone says as we move forward. Because the Phoenix rises from the ash, it still becomes this brilliant thing that's admired and that shines and rises again, you know, all that good stuff. It's not like people see the Phoenix and they go, dang it, you should have stayed ashes, we hate you. And it's not usually like that, you know, mythologically speaking. And you're rising anew anyway. You're becoming what you're becoming regardless of what people say. But I feel just like a curiosity from you of what do they have to say about you for some of you, I feel like it's very strongly connected to what you're rising from. Like, I feel like somebody specific legit might have had a very, very serious like crime or accident or something that was life threatening that like maybe injured you for life in some way or changed how capable you are now in some physical way. Like you losing like the loss of like the loss of hearing or the loss of a limb or the loss of, you know what I'm saying? Something that you are not who you used to be in some way because something happened to you. And what happened was public. And so the people that are talking, you know, they're talking about something because so many people saw what happened to you, whatever your individual situations are, whatever that fall represents, whatever that becoming of ashes represents for you. Let me know in the comment section if you're comfortable sharing, because I feel like it's varied, like all the groups. It's been very, very measy. Lots of different stuff coming through. Regardless of your individual situations, it was public for all of you. In some way, a lot of people got to see you at this low point, and you're rising again. And so a lot of people are going to watch that. And maybe not necessarily hope that you get dragged down in some respect, but to see if you can pull it off, to see what happens, to just, man, a big bird just flew by. But my blinds are down, so all I saw was the shape of it moving. I did not see what kind of bird it was, but it was huge, y'all. Not your average little bird in the yard, you know what I'm saying? That was either a big hawk or an owl or an eagle or something big. Very fun. We have all of those out here, but they're usually a little more elusive, where you see them from much farther away. You don't usually see them on like the light post right outside your house, which I just did. Very wild. And you're looking at this big, beautiful bird here. I'm just feeling like this is a lot of confirmation for you, Group 4, that you're in the right place, if any of that is speaking to you. Okay. Some of you might be air signs. Some of you might be fire signs, whatever those are. I truly do not know, my loves. You'd think I'd learn, but I don't. Been in esoteric practice since I was 17, and you would think. Alrighty, I just want to see who these people are. What are they saying? Raise your standards. Blaze your own trail. So your guides are kind of showing more advice to you at this time. Anybody that's talking out of turn right now, they're basically saying, right, and we're still going to try to see, don't worry. I know you're curious, and so am I. They're saying that the people that are talking they have lower standards than you, and they don't have the originality of you either. Like, they're not on the path that you're on, which is a higher path. Y'all in this group are very serious about evolving as people, evolving through the course of your life's journey, etc. Rising from your low times and bringing in higher positive energy out of those times of woe. Okay. Yeah, blazing a new trail, blazing your own trail. Your guides are definitely saying, and like the peacock feathers of that phoenix, and then we have the peacock feathers of the peacock. They're very similar, not exactly the same, but they're very close. It's really about becoming, showing yourself at your full potential. So the main message that's coming through here is that, yes, there's a lot of people watching to see how you pick yourself up from whatever your individual situations are. But your guides are saying that you have no reason to not really shine or blaze a path, or, however you're going forward. If there's any naysayers around, they are full of it, because you're all showing this impeccable journey material of just whoosh, becoming much bigger than what you were before. Blazing a new trail, moving forward, reinventing yourself, whatever you want to say. They're going to witness that, these people. So whether what they're saying is, oh, I have to cough. So regardless if they're saying positive or negative things about you, the way that you rise in front of them and move forward is going to look good, regardless of what they said. So that's encouraging. What they're going to say, can we see, please? Sorry, I have to cough. Okay. What are people saying? We have Archangel Raphael, provider of healing for mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so people are talking about, yeah, I've got a lot of like, I'm not going to lie. This might just be an extreme scenario to help bring things into perspective of the type of, I guess, voyeurism that's happened to you, or the type of witnessing that you're coming across with people. How public it feels. It's like people in some circles are discussing things like, yes, your mind, your body, and your spirit, but the healing of like, how are they going to get through this? So you've been through it. In some cases, I feel like some of you like were almost killed and you didn't get killed in some way. And the people that know that are kind of like, how is that affecting their mind? How is their body healing if you had like an injury to your body? How does this affect their spirituality? You know, maybe if you lost a great deal in the process. Remember, we're talking about like permanent injuries and things of that nature, and having to reinvent yourself as this totally maybe different person in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people that are watching this, right? For a lot of different reasons. Yeah, that is being discussed. Ooh. That would make me go, I don't like people talking about that. I don't feel like they're saying bad things per se. I think that just what you've been through, if they know about it, the magnitude of it is not lost on them. Okay, like they know that what you've been through would put anybody through like the ringer, so to speak, right? That's what I'm trying to convey. Memories. Cherish memories of loved ones. Yeah, some of you are having to move forward without things that you might have had before. So like moving forward and keeping those memories of what you did have before it went to ash and you had to rise again. That's never easy, y'all. Some of you could have lost some loved ones. Some of you could be moving forward in the sense of you can't work the same way that you used to because you've had a lifelong injury of some sort or illness of some kind, you know? Some of you might have been like harmed by another individual in some, violent way. I'm sorry to say. But you're, moving and pushing forward. And so people are going to talk about that. People are going to watch that journey. I have not seen a lot of shiz talking yet, like negative speech at this point, which is making me happy because otherwise I'd be like, F those guys, you've been through so much. Like, it's more like you just need to focus on you and getting through it. And yeah, people are going to talk about it, but honestly, the things that they're saying are not that cruel as far as I can see it. Epiphany, seek clarity. Yeah, I feel like maybe some of you might be surprised by that. And look, it's another bird figure. She's like sprouted wings and she's going to fly away. How interesting. And look, there's those same feathers. Goodness gracious. Okay, this is big. Like people that are watching right now, whatever situations you have been in, like that you have been through it. And you also know, like you can see that phoenix design in her dress there. Also a large audience, right? A lot of change. How can I say this? There's this level of acceptance with you that is going to surely show, and this is part of why the people that are around you are talking about your physical mind, your spirit, your body, is because you've been through so much, but you're moving forward and rising from this so just incredibly that, like I said, it's not lost on anybody because of what you've been through. And if you haven't gotten to that place of like Gloria, that's what you're headed towards. And I think a lot of you are just now having this epiphany of, it's not like you're glad that what happened happened. You just know that that was like how things were meant to happen. That this is just part of what your life is supposed to look like. It's a very profound, like, awakening on your part, I guess, of understanding. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying stupid stuff. I'm going to move on. Confrontation, pick your battles. Yeah, I'm really not seeing anybody to battle against at this time. Like I said, I'm not hearing any nasty speech. Okay. There's flashes of light keep happening, and I can't tell where they're coming from or why they're happening. It's not cars. My blinds are open a little bit. It is a little bit stormy outside, but right now the sun is shining, so, and the wind has died down quite a bit. It's still windy, but it's not like, feeling like my house is going to blow away. I keep getting these pops of light. I feel like they have to be for you guys. Just so you know, if that means something to you, let me know what it meant in the comments. Or maybe you've just been seeing that same type of thing and your guides are showing it to me to give you further confirmation that you're in the right place. I don't know. Hi. Okay. Maybe that's the epiphany for some of you, is like, oh my gosh, this is real. My guides really are here speaking to me. This lunatic named Miriam couldn't possibly come up with this stuff all by herself. It's true, I can't. I just channel it in. I'm that connection in the wire between you and them. That's it. I have no wisdom. I'm just an average gal. So, not that you couldn't tell. But your guides are here speaking. And they have so much to say about this. You've just been through such a lot. And you're picking your battles as far as like who you let into your world now, what you let upsets you now. Like maybe a few weeks ago you would have been upset about losing your pen, and now you're like, a pen is a pen. You might be even more so of like if somebody needed a car and you didn't even know them very well, and they're like, does anybody have a car I can use? And you're like, to heck with it. I'm just going to let them use my car because there are other cars if something happens to it. I mean, like, just this weird, like, not laissez-faire attitude, like you don't care, but this, like, not sweating the small stuff because you've been through such heavy stuff, and just kind of choosing to interact in the world in such a positive way that surely everyone will see you rise. And picking your battles, yeah, not getting twisted up about money or other things that would have used to have bothered you. People being rude, perhaps. Maybe used to really rub you the wrong way. Now you're like, you don't even remember to think about it. Interesting. Yep, moving forward. Get ready for positive change. And I see you moving forward in a positive way no matter what happens, no matter what the situation is. I feel like you're always choosing to grow and learn about yourself and to look at life's occurrences, good and bad, as a chance to also experience positive things, right? I don't even say the bad times help me appreciate the good times. The bad times, while they're happening, help me appreciate the positive things that are still there while the bad stuff's happening. That's like a message that's coming through for you. Lots of Queen of Swords energy as well. The Queen of Swords is the widowed queen, right? Doesn't mean that everybody's husband's going to die or everybody's spouse is going to not make it and you're going to end up outliving them. But it does have that fortitude of somebody who has lost their other half and are still moving forward regardless of that change. There's that same restorative energy that you possess. Blah, 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 Miriam. Let's move on to the tarot, shall we? Anything you want to tell them, Spirit, about advice moving forward, gossip that they're going to endure, what people are saying about them specifically, anything that comes through for them. People are saying you handle your emotions very well. People are pretty impressed with you so far. I mean, like, they're not taking lightly what has happened to you. Yeah, temperance. People are saying that you're even-tempered, that you're very balanced. Like, I'm hearing a lot of like what popped into my mind was like when a person like loses a child and they show up to work like 2 weeks later, and they're like just, they're not like okay, but they're moving through life and they're still doing their job, and everybody's just like, and they're not like so crazy that you're like, oh, they shouldn't be here, right? You know what I'm saying? We've seen people with that kind of fortitude, and I don't look at people like that and say, oh, they're going to crash, they better be careful. Some people might. To be continued. Okay, so I apologize. I totally lost my train of thought. I didn't want to stop the whole recording since I just paused it. Okay, so the stuff that people are saying, what I'm hearing is that they really do think that you have your emotions like in check. Oh, that's right. We were talking about like somebody losing a child and like showing up to work and actually like putting, shoes on and stuff like that is always so like, I just don't understand where those like levels of strength comes from. That's the kind of stuff people are saying about you. When people ask, how are they doing? They say, well, considering what happened to them, they're actually doing really well, like that kind of feeling. I don't feel like that you've done anything untoward or extreme in the case of like a grieving person can do in times of great turmoil, great change, whatever is happening with each of you individually. A lot of people, are not blaming you for maybe not seeing around every corner. If something happened to you where you got hurt really bad, it's not like people are gossiping saying, oh, well, they're probably drinking, or, oh, they probably weren't paying good attention, or they're not a very good driver, or something like that. Like, I'm not seeing that at all. Like, I think the general consensus that's being spoken between people is you couldn't have known. Things like that are coming through with that card. People being happy that you're okay, that you didn't stay ashes, however that looks like for each of you. Yeah, and people are not saying bad things. When they're talking about you, they're actually speaking of you in a loving manner. And I know that you don't even actually really care. I think you were just curious, is like the energy that I keep getting. Almost like, I feel like whatever you've been through has been so, extreme in so many cases that you're curious in this, and it was so public. Yes, let's get back to that. That people are going to be talking about it. So you're just curious as to see like how nasty they are or aren't getting. And honestly, they're not being really nasty at all. Like people are very in awe of you. They respect you a lot. Some people might respect you so much that this situation, seeing you go through it, has made them become starstruck by you in some way. They wish they knew you better. The people who do know you better feel a little bit privileged that they know you. Like it's kind of, it's almost like when somebody's famous because it was just such a public affair of whatever happened. Yeah, you're seen as somebody who has overcome extreme adversity of some sort, and that things are going to get better from you from here on out. So honestly, I mean, like very positive vibes from most of the people in your life. If anybody's harboring any dark resentment or nasty things to say about you, they are locking it up tight. They are not saying it out loud, but I'm not even picturing that in being something that somebody's keeping locked up tight. Which I know surprised me too. I expect people to be so awful sometimes. That is 10 of Cups in reverse. Let me grab that for you. Yeah, 10 of Cups in reverse shows, to me, it's very, in this case, is like this idea of like, yeah, you can't go back to the way things were. And people know that about you. And so like they are curious to see how you are going to move forward from where you've moved so far. Okay. But honestly, yeah, like they're hoping for the best for you is generally what I'm seeing. Like, I really don't see people, they're hoping that you'll heal, that you're going to they're expecting you to heal and be okay. That this didn't conquer you. Very positive energy. I'm very happy to hear it and see it because of, the magnitude of what you've been through. It's nothing short of miraculous what some of you have been through, I'm feeling. This 10 of Wands, Usually the person is stooped. In this case, the horse is very tired, and so is this person. But you've arrived at the tipping point of the difficulty level, I guess. And it, really can only get better from here. You're really doing the healing work that you need to do for yourself. You're really moving forward. You are not conquered. Yeah, 9 of Wands. And like, this reminds me of the Strength card because she's got that lion with her. It's not just like her with a bandage on her head, all alone, feeling sad, It's like this this inner strength that is just very, 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 very inspiring and a very honest truth. The things that people are saying about you, they're saying honestly. They really do admire you for what you've been through and how you've handled it. I'm in awe of like what some of you have been through here. Okay, so that's what they're saying about you. Your guides are saying that you're doing well. I feel like you're doing well. I feel for you, whatever you've been through. It's always rough to reinvent yourself in some way, but you're rocking it. So with that, I'll leave you. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you. Bye, 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 bye. Bye-bye.